Hi, my name is Mike G, and have a video today. In this video, Jesus, YAHWASUA, teaches his children to recognize the serpents and snakes in the garden. And how does Jesus teach us this? How does Jesus teach us to know who the serpents and the snakes are in the garden? Well, let's get a few things straight. When we're talking about the Garden of Eden, people think that you're going to have a garden with grass and all kinds of things like that, and you have talking serpents or talking snake at the end. What did Jesus say? He spoke in parables. He spoke in an analogous speech. The entire Bible is analogous, so that the children would know the reign of God. The reign of God is the reign of truth. So we're going to go over some of these, but really, if you really consider what Jesus said, that he didn't open up, every time he opened his mouth, he spoke a parable. And for my last video, you got to see, or the last two videos, you got to see the analogous thinking compared to critical thinking and all the other types of thinking. All the other types of thinking are using your reasoning skills as to get to the answer. In this analogous thinking, you have to be able to see. If you can't see, you can't understand analogous thinking. So it is designed for the children of God. In the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve did not understand the potential problem the serpent can bring to them. And what did the serpent do? It had Adam and Eve believe a lie. Remember, that's where it started. In the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve believed a lie. So the lie comes from the mouth of serpents. Now, what did Jesus, in fact, what did John the Baptist call the Pharisees that came to his baptism? Brood of vipers. What did Jesus call the Jews and the Pharisees? Brood of vipers. What's a viper? A serpent. What comes out of the viper's mouth? A lie. What did Jesus call the Jews and Pharisees in John 8? Children of the devil. Of the devil. Children of the devil. And why did he call them that? Well, let's just go read that for a bit. In fact, I'm going to go over some of the Bible, parts of the Bible, to make things a little more understanding, to tie things together, and how to read the Bible with the spirit of truth. Ye are of a father, the devil, and the desires of your father ye will do. He was a manslayer from the beginning, and in truth he hath not stood, because there is no truth in him. And one may speak a falsehood, of his own he speaketh, because he is a liar, also his father. So the children of the devil are liars, no truth in them. Oh my goodness. And manslayers. The no truth in them is from their father, the devil. Adam and Eve believed the lie. Once someone believes a lie, they now become a false reality in their life, because the liar sets up a new reality, and this reality now is going to be cemented on those lies. In the United States, if you talk to people, they talk about, make America great, or they talk about the history of the United States, and they try and tell you things. You can't believe that. You can't believe the history of the United States as it is told to you, because they want you to believe their lie so that you can be subjected to more lies. You see, lies build upon each other. That's the conception of man's greatest problem and woman's greatest problem, is that once they start lying or believing lies, then they're stuck in a vicious circle that they can't get out of. What Jesus did is he broke us from the vicious circle of lies that get larger and larger and larger. Lies take their own form of identity. If the person gets into lying too much, then you get to see the most incredible craziness can start happening in their life. And a perfect example of this, which I'm going to make videos on, is Amber Heard on the witness stand. Amber Heard on the witness stand was a absolutely magnificent example of someone whose truth is lies. And she actually thought that she was going to win. Her truth were lie upon lie. When Camille Vasquez was cross-examining Amber Heard, Camille Vasquez, an accomplished attorney, was able to catch her with the lies. But even if you catch the liar with the lies, they keep doubling down on them. So this is why we can't have interactions with liars, because there is no truth in them. Just like everything she said, there was no truth in it. All the witnesses are wrong, everybody's wrong, but she's telling the truth because her foundation is built upon lies. And these lies, for someone like Amber Heard, start, very attractive woman. You get all this false attention from men. And when you get this attention from men, it brings the attractive woman outside of her inner self to the outer peripherals. And then they believe these lies. And then that becomes their foundation. And that's how they become the embodiment of lies. Amber Heard was an embodiment of lies. And it was so easy to see. Johnny Depp, who, again, an actor, so he's professionally lying, no saint, he enabled that relationship. He knew what he was doing with her, but he kept it going because he wanted something from her, in that maybe she is fun, maybe she's good to be around, attractive. All those things now swayed his better judgment, instead of being able to see that this is serpent behavior that Amber Heard was having, and that he needs to get away from the serpents. The purpose of the Bible for us is to teach the children of God to spot the serpents, spot the serpents and the lies. Now, someone can say to me, Michael, you're taking this analogous thinking too far. And I don't usually speak in the third person. I'm just giving you the potential that you might have, thinking that that's not what the Bible is talking about. I said, okay, fair enough point. So I'm going to take you to the end of the Bible. Let's go to the end of the Bible. Revelation 22, and around verse 11. Now, we're going to read a little bit now, and then we're going to get to where we want to be. And lo, I come quickly, and my reward with me, to render each as his work shall be. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Happy, this is verse 14 now, are those doing his commands. His commands. Remember, Jesus' commands. That the authority shall be theirs unto the tree of life. Where is the tree of life? The tree of life is in the Garden of Eden, remember? And by the gates they may enter into the city. So, through Jesus, we're going to enter into the city where the tree of life is. And without the dogs, the sorcerers, and the whoremongers, and the murderers, and idolaters, and everyone who is loving and is doing a lie. The absolute last thing that Jesus says, okay, is a lie. I, Jesus, did send my messengers to testify to you these things concerning the assemblies. I am the root and the offspring of David, the bright and the morning star. And the Spirit and the bride say, come. And he who is hearing, let him say, come. And he who is thirsting, let him come. And he who is willing, let him take the water of life freely. For I testify, everyone hearing the words of the prophecy of the scroll, that if anyone may add to these, God shall add to him the plagues that is written in the scroll. Okay. This is the absolute last statement. Absolute last statement before, let's say, the closing of the Bible. Last thing. What does it say? A lie. Oh, I lost it now. That's the beginning, the end. Last thing. Sorcerers. A lie. These are the people outside. These are the people that don't have the tree of life. We are in the Garden of Eden, and those that are liars, okay, and the Bible in the New Testament pegs them as Jews and Pharisees. So Jesus calls the Jews, the Pharisees, liars. Now, what kind of thinking does Jesus use to teach us? Analogous. Analogous thinking. Okay, so if Jesus spoke in analogous thinking, the whole Bible is analogous thinking, then who would the Jews be? Because this is a group of people, right? We can easily say, well, just the Jews, it's all the Jews. That's not that quick. Don't be so quick. It's the Jews or Judah that's tied into lies. The Bible's very clear in this. If they stay in Jesus' truth, it's all right. If they don't, then they're liars. These two have to be together. So if you want to take the Jews as a group of people, or descendants of Judah through Canaanite woman, remember she had 3 sons with Judah, that branch would be the liars. But we don't know who these people are. And why? Because Jesus is the beginning, Alpha to Omega. Beginning to the end. So, you got to understand something here. This is really tremendous. Jesus is the end of Elohim and the beginning. This is the genealogy from Adam to Jesus, the end of Elohim. Now, why is that important? The from Adam to Jesus is recorded in the Bible. The temple was burnt. The temple was burnt 33 years after Jesus was crucified. Now, why is that important? Because the temple was burnt by the Jews or the liars. Now remember, when I say Jews today, we're talking about liars. Jews of Jesus' time is giving us the analogous understanding of the false Christs and the liars today. Liars, whether it be psychopaths, enablers, yeah, they're in there. ERS. Covert narcissists. And narcissists. This is part of the evil that Jesus talks about are the serpents today. They're not exactly Jews, because it's analogous. Jesus is showing us how they act. So when you read the Bible, when Jesus interacts with the Jews, he is showing us serpents. He's not exactly showing us Jews. He's showing us the snake. And he's showing us how they interact with other people, so that we would beware of where the snake is. If we know where the snake is, we're not going to step on it. If we step on the snake or come next to the snake, the serpent will bite you. And then you got a problem. So if you're near the liars, if you interact with the liars, then you're going to fall with the liars. You're going to be caught up in them. So in this case, we're using Amber Heard because it doesn't matter if she's Jewish or not. She was in front of all those people, the embodiment of lying. Everybody testified, everybody said that her words were lying, except for her sister, who we know is lying for her. And we know that too because she gave testimony that kind of proves that she was lying also. So Amber Heard is that attractive woman. Amber Heard is the rich guy. Amber Heard becomes the people that we interact with, that we want something from them. We think something's really good, but in the end, you are tangling with liars and serpents. Now I want to drive this point for home as much as I can. When Jesus speaks to us about the Jews, when he speaks to us about the Pharisees, well, if the Pharisees and the Jews are the analogous picture that we can understand who they are today, who would the Pharisees be? The churches. The churches. Remember the command we just read his commands? Remember his commands, Jesus' commands? Love the Lord thy God more than thyself, and love thy brother like thyself. Those are the two commands. And those two commands have everything to do with light and truth. Because we are from above. They are from below. Now, when you see above and below, what is that talking about? I'm going to draw it here. Above and below. Let me go to the next page. Okay. Jesus says, I am from above. Ye are from below. What's this separation? The law. Above, below. The law. What does that mean? If you're under the law, you can't see the light. Now, I'm not saying the light is the sun, but the analogous of the light is the sun. If you are under the law, below, Jews, Pharisees, and liars, you can't see this the light, the sun. You are always in darkness. In the light. Darkness. Darkness, liars. Light, truth. Now I said this before, and I'm going to do a video on this too, so you're just going to have to see the words. Here it comes. White privilege. Yeah, don't know if it's spelled right. Black Lives Matter. Now, why did I put that there? Because both these statements, everybody talks about them today, but they have nothing to do with white color or black color. Black people or people of color, whatever you want to call it, has nothing to do with them. Because these could be black people. That's great. This takes the wind away from the liar's sail. Because the things that we are talking about are spiritual. It's the current. It's the you get to see the truth for what it is. A lot of the Black Lives Matter people that were burning the cities were white. They weren't black people burning the cities as much. Maybe some looting or whatever, but it was mostly white people that were burning shit down. They had all kinds of videos, and you could see the white person setting the fire, white person breaking the windows. Why? Alright, so I don't want to get too far ahead. Above the law. Below the law. The law's on top of their head. Why? Because they're alive to darkness. So now we're going to find two places in the Bible, or maybe more. We can find this everywhere. So we're going to go someplace, an unlikely place. Okay, we're in the book of Jude. Now, why the book of Jude? Okay, the book of Jude is not part of this, but Judah, in the book of Jude, you have Judah, and you have two groups of Judah. You have the ones born under the Canaanite, and then you have the ones of Jesus through Tamar. Okay? So these are in the light, and these are the ones that we get the Jews from. So what does it say? And to remind you, verse 5, and to remind you, I intended you knowing once this, that the Lord, a people out of the land of Egypt, having saved, again those who did not believe, did destroy. Messengers also who did not keep their own principality, but did leave the proper dwelling to a judgment of a great day. In bonds everlasting, under darkness he hath kept, as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities around them in like manner, to these having given themselves to whoredom and gone after other flesh, have been set before an example of fire, age during justice, suffering. In like manner, nevertheless, those dreaming also the flesh indeed do defile, and lordship, reign of God, truth they put away, and dignities they speak evil of. Yet Michael, who, by the way, the word Michael means who is like God. Now, who is like God can be a rhetorical question, or it could be those of God. The chief messenger, when the devil contending, he was disputing about the body of Moses, the law, did not dare to bring up an evil-speaking judgment, but said, the Lord rebuke thee. The word rebuke here is like putting a weight on thee. And these, as many as indeed have not known, they speak evil of. And look, they have not known, they speak evil of. Even saying white privilege and Black Lives Matter, they don't know what they're saying. They don't know what they're saying. When you have the light of the truth, you could see things that other people would not be able to see. Because we are being cleansed from our lies. And what ends up happening is that if you're of the light, God actually brings you into more truth. Here, let's go to another place where this is very evident. We'll see in Mark 16. The last words Jesus says to what's going to happen. Okay, let's start with 15. And he said to them, having gone to all the world, proclaim the good news to all the creation. He who hath believed and hath been baptized shall be saved, and he who hath not believed shall be condemned. And signs shall accompany those believing. These things in my name, demons they shall cast out. With new tongues they shall speak. Demons, right? Demons they cast out. Which demons? The lying demons within you. Cast out. With new tongues they shall speak. What new tongues? You're going to speak in the truth. Serpents they shall take up. So you're going to go pick up snakes? Did you see about those snake charmers in the United States? They pick up the snakes and their father dies and the great-grandfather dies. And they've been snake handlers because they are the literal reading of the Bible, not the analogous, as Jesus keeps on saying, analogous, analogous. The reign of the heavens is like, the kingdom of heaven is like. Jesus is talking analogous, but someone's going to read this now thinking that they got to pick up a snake to prove that they are of God. Yeah, right. Serpents they shall take up, and if any deadly thing may drink, it shall not hurt them. See, when you believe a lie, that's what it's talking about. The deadly drink. If you believe lie, that's why what you're taking in when you're drinking in this case is what? You're going to worry about what? Poison? So now you're supposed to drink poison so that you can prove you're not of the devil and be alive. So if the poison doesn't kill you, then you're okay? No. Analogous thinking. Analogous thinking. You will drink a lie and it won't hurt you because God. Okay, let me go back. Deadly thing they may drink, it shall not hurt them. It's not going to affect you being of God. On the ailing they will lay hands, and they shall be well. Well, who's ailing? Everyone that's believing in lies. And when you start telling them about the truth and they start implementing the truth, their lives are going to be healed. The Lord then indeed, after speaking to them, was received up to the heaven and sat on the right hand of God. And they, having gone forth, did preach everywhere the Lord, working with them and confirming the word through the signs following. You see, a lot of churches built their whole understanding on the literal interpretation of what we just read. And we know that those literal speakers of this interpretation is not what Jesus was talking about. Jesus was saying the kingdom of heaven, the reign of heaven. So he's not talking about picking up snakes and drinking poison. But what would be the snake? What was the serpent? Okay. Shall lay new tongues, serpents they shall take up. Okay, so let's go back to those serpents. Where are those serpents? Jesus called them brood of vipers, the children of the devil. They're liars, no truth in them. See, Jesus is not talking about snakes. He's talking to you about how to stay away from the liars, the enablers, the psychopaths, and the narcissists. And you know, let's be serious here. You're not going to be able to interact with as many people as you used to. Because if you interact with them, you're going to fall into their traps, like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Now again, I'm not saying Johnny Depp is not responsible, but if you look at what Johnny Depp said, if you look at the things he said that now he's all about the truth. Now he's all about the truth after this entanglement that he had. He had a finger almost severed. He lost tremendous amount of money, a lot of his wealth. He lost credibility. It's like he had to experience hell because he was tied into someone that had no truth in them and that was lying all the time. Now, am I judging Amber Heard? What about my judging? Am I judging it? What's this judgment I'm talking about? Well, the Bible does tell us, judge not that ye be not judged. I'm going to do a video on that too. But before I get cut off, I just want you to understand something. What am I judging on? Spirit of truth. Of truth. You see, that's the judgment we can give. Are you telling the truth? Are they in the light? Are they in the light? By the way, also in Revelation, before we get cut off, if you look at Revelation 22, it talks about Jesus giving us the light. I don't have much time here because we're about to be cut, but Jesus is going to give us the light. Okay, the authority But you'll find it in 22. The lamb shall be in it, and his servants